they're intent on protecting, their quarterback. They're intent on opening up their running game. And this is John Harbaugh. He's old school. He knows that if you can control the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball, having skill players is great. But unless you can protect the quarterback and get to the quarterback, you got to have those things in place. And that's how they decided to go. They felt that they, would get better value later on in the draft, and they didn't even go with their next pick. They took Colton Hood, who's a corner. So they really want to, get better in that aspect on their defense. And they took they waited, what was that, in the third round where they got Malachi Fields. And, I mean, is he that much worse than Downs?
I mean, yeah. Joe
Yeah,
Downs is arguably the best player in the draft, and they play two
really.
completely different positions. I mean, Downs was like, and it's not even the fact that you didn't get Downs, you let him go to the Cowboys. So you're gonna have to play him twice a year. You have to see him in the Dallas uniform, and your quarterback might be throwing him 5 picks a year. So it's like, I like the Mauigoa pick. I like the player, but a guard at 10, even a safety at 10 isn't like great value. So it's like either way, they weren't getting a premier position.
Right,
I
but if
just
he's a starter, if he's a
I don't love
starter and he's
Downs.
good, I mean, that's not the whole point, is to get really good players and
Yeah, you could get a guard in the third, fourth round. That's good though.
I guess.
A potential all pro safety, like you just don't find those guys.
I
You
look,
know, I honestly, I mean, you compare him to Malachi Fields. I love the Malachi Fields pick. He was one of the positions that like I really thought they needed to get is a big time, big body receiver on the outside, and he
right,
can go up and get the ball. He's a
right,
red zone threat. He's a down the field threat. He didn't really get many opportunities at Notre Dame because they have two of the best running backs in the country.
right.
They're running the ball 50 times a game. They really weren't trying to chuck the ball down the field. But when CJ Carr found that, like when he was throwing the ball down the field, it was to Malachi Fields,
Yep.
and 75% of the time he came down with it. Didn't matter who was on him.
And
So
the Giants always have good luck with Notre Dame players. So,
yeah, I like the pick, and he's a really good hardball fit because he's a really good run blocker,
yep.
and he's
Yeah.
gonna that's gonna carve out a role for him in this
Yep.
offense. And they didn't
Yep.
have that kind of receiver. I mean, you had Neighbors, you had Slayton. Like these guys aren't big. Like you needed a big
Right.
body, grinded out receiver, and they got that. Moving on to the